Welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast, your safe space to finally focus on YOU. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your self-care coach for moms, praying wife, and mom of four. And I know that being a Christ-centered mom is such a beautiful calling, but it can be so draining. That's why it's important to make sure you are filling your own cup. On this podcast, we'll discuss practical, holistic self-care strategies to help nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Because a mama who fills her own cup pours that back into her family with true peace and joy. Tune in for honest conversations about motherhood and self-care because you matter too. Blessings, mamas, and welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your host. And guys, we are in the thick of May-cember where we have all the things going on like it's December, but you know it's May. We got graduations. I know my son, he's in band, so he's been doing his different band things. And then my twins, my 16-year-old twins are looking for a summer job. Y'all, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. Oh my goodness. I feel like they're about to graduate when I know they're not. But like we say, time goes fast. Time goes fast. Oh my goodness. So with summer can bring a lot of pressure. I know you may be thinking about it like there's pressure now, but then if you're going to have your kiddos at home with you, there's like a lot of things that can happen. You know, we got change of schedules, lack of schedules. And if you work from home, then it can be even worse because you're like, I'm used to my peace and quiet, but now they're at home and I got to get them together, keep myself together while I do my work. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about how summer doesn't have to be stressful. It can be a time where you create peace, where you create loving memories with your family, which I know we all want to do, right? We want to enjoy our summers. I saw a TikTok a while back and she talks about how many summers she had left with her kids. And of course that hit me again, you know, with having 16-year-olds. I'm like, oh my gosh, you only have like 2 summers left unless they decide, you know, they want to stay at home longer or they want to, you know, go to college locally. I'm like, oh my gosh, we only have 2 summers. And then again, there's that pressure. There's that, oh my gosh, I got to make everything special. And that in itself, that's the mental load of summer that can, you know, weigh on you as well. And so when we have that mindset, we're entering and thinking about summer about like all this stress and overwhelm. And we enter into survival mode. We're like, okay, how am I going to survive the summer, right? But I want to encourage you to think about how you're going to thrive this summer, how your family's going to thrive this summer. And y'all, guess what? Summertime can actually amplify what you are already struggling with. So, you know, if you are like the type of person I've talked about where we're like, nobody else can do it like mama and you always want to be in control. When your kids are at home, guess what? That's more for you to focus on and try to control. And then your brain is constantly going, that mental load is constantly going where you're thinking about, okay, I want to make sure they're happy. I want to make sure they're enjoying themselves, or I want to make sure they're still learning. Let me make sure they're getting this work in. And there's so many things that you may have been struggling with before that it is just amplified during the summertime. And so this is something we want to make sure that we're not brushing past, or we're not saying, oh, it's not important. I'll be okay. No, you won't be okay. Yes, you will get through it because as mamas, we're going to show up no matter what, right? But there is a way to do it better. When you know better, you do better. And I'm here to help you do better. I'm here to help you have a more peaceful summer, a summer where you're not putting so much pressure and those unrealistic expectations on yourself or on your family. Because when you do that, the stress and overwhelm you feel pours over into your children. And we don't want that, right? We don't want to be pushing that on them because they're like, it's summertime. I want to relax. I want to have fun. Not saying there shouldn't be structure because in my house there is, but is there less structure? Yes, it is. Because like I said, when I mentioned working from home, of course, that's me. So they have to know there's times when mommy's recording podcasts, when mommy's doing live videos, when mommy's working on different things, that they have to be quiet. And there's certain chores that have to be done and things like that. So there's going to be structure. Because if there's lack of structure, there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of craziness, which is what we don't want during the summertime or during any time, really. But it happens in motherhood. It happens. It's happened with me in the past. It may happen again this summer. Who knows? And that's why I think a lot of moms can relate to Martha in the Bible. When Jesus came to visit, she was like, oh my gosh, let me get everything perfect. Let me make sure everything is in order. Not to say that what she did was bad necessarily, but it wasn't the best choice. What did I say? When you know better, you do better, because Mary sat at his feet and took time to be still and listen. But Martha was overwhelmed, frustrated, where she got to the point where she's like, Jesus, tell Mary to come help me. I'm in here doing this by myself. But Mary focused on what was important. So I encourage you, while you're listening to this episode, think about it this summer. What is the important thing, or the important things that you need to be focused on, and how are you going to make them happen? And then even think about what things you don't need to be focused on, what things don't need to happen, because they are draining your sanity. And when I think about Martha and how she was like, let me make sure things are done a certain way, I thought about, she was like, hey, I don't want Jesus to think I'm a dirty person, or different things like that. We often feel like our doing or what other people see defines who we are. And so a lot of us do that in motherhood. We're like, if I do this, I'm a good mom. Or if you're married, if I do this, I'm a good wife. And so our worth becomes tied to what we do, and we feel guilty for resting. So that results in us, when we feel that guilt, then we don't do it. We don't take time to ourselves and experiencing peace. You know how they say, where they're like, if it's quiet in your house, something's wrong. Like you need to go check on your kids because they up to no good. It's kind of like we feel that uncomfortability in ourselves when we have time to just be quiet and be still, because it's new. It's weird. Your brain tells you, oh, I need to be doing something else. And I kind of equate that with me back in the day. And sometimes I struggle with this, but I remember back in the day when I was in college at PVU, I was walking around with my head down, and that's because I was focused on going to my next class. And to be honest, subconsciously, wasn't really feeling good about myself. And this lady told me, sister, pick your head up. You need to walk with your head up and be proud of yourself. She said something to that effect. And even though, she was basically telling me, you are worthy, hold your head up, stop looking down at the ground. There's no reason for you to be looking down. That felt weird to me. It felt uncomfortable because I wasn't used to that. And I was like, wow, like she just really empowered me. But it felt so strange that I kind of had pushback. But then at the same time, I lifted my darn head up and I decided to embrace what she said. And I was like, you know what? She's right. I need to be walking with my head up. I am a proud, beautiful African-American woman, a woman of God, and I'm going to walk in that and I'm going to own that. So I encourage you to do the same with yourself, saying, am I busy trying to prove my worth when you're already worthy? When God already created you, you're already enough right where you are, even as you are becoming the next best version of yourself. So that mindset shift helped me, like I said, to feel better about myself, but also even in this context, helped me to remember, oh my gosh, I got to do this. No, you don't, Sherry. You're tired. You need to sit down somewhere. So I remind you, and I say remind because if you listen to the podcast, I say things like this over and over because it's about self-care, that you deserve rest. You deserve care. You deserve to set boundaries, to say, no, I'm not going to accept this. No, I'm not going to do that. You deserve that. And it's your job to do it. All right, ladies, I forgot to say at the beginning of the episode, but I want you to do it now. Get your pen out and I want you to answer these questions. If you can't do it right now, make sure you save this episode, come back and write down these answers. Or you could speak them into a voice note in your phone. But ask yourself, what do you want this summer to feel like emotionally? Emotionally. Not just, the activities I want to do. Yes, we want to do those, hopefully, even if it's relaxing. Like for me, I just posted a TikTok about being on the beach. I love going to the beach. I love it. It's so relaxing. But how do you want to feel emotionally? Do you want to feel more peace? Do you want to feel more energized? Do you want to feel more relaxed? Do you want to feel more joy? Like, what do you want to feel? And write that down so that when you're not feeling those things during the summer, you can say, okay, this is not how I said I wanted to feel. So then you'll be aware of, this is what I wanted. You can't hit a target that you do not see. So meaning if you don't know what you want, then you're not going to make sure you get it because you don't even know what it is you want. You may know what you don't want, but what is it that you want? So when you start feeling the overwhelm and the stress, then you can come back to this and say, hey, this is not how I said I want to feel. So what am I going to do to make it happen? So ask yourself, what do I want to feel this summer? How do I want to feel? And even maybe ask yourself, how do you want your family to feel? But start with yourself first. And then ask yourself what usually drains you during the summertime. So is it the lack of structure? Is it too much structure? Is it, high expectations of I want to do this thing, but then it doesn't happen? or it does happen, but it stresses you out. Like I saw somebody post on Facebook and they said, does anybody get stressed out from going on vacation with people and, the expectations and the plans and all of that? And of course, people in the comments was like, yes, girl. And I put, have you tried doing a staycation with just you and the family? Because that can be fun. It doesn't have to be you travel to another state or another country with a bunch of other people that you don't want to be around because maybe you're like me and you're an introvert. So maybe you could change those expectations. So ask yourself, what drains you? Is it that you're having no quiet time or you're not asking for help? What is that for you? And then lastly, ask yourself, where can I create more breathing room? Where can I create more space for me? So is that getting up early in the morning to spend time with God? Is that taking maybe 10 minutes during the day to go walk outside and breathe and pray and walk or listen to your favorite music? Is that instead of saying yes automatically, because that's what you're used to doing, learning how to say no? Or at the very minimum, let me think about it. Or like I tell my kids, we'll see. My kids know. I know a lot of families are different. When you say we'll see, it means no. But normally when I say we'll see, I'm actually considering it. Because they know if I say we'll see, I consider it. But if I say no, that's no. So ask yourself, do you need to start saying no instead of yes? Do you need more structure? Do you need to say, hey, during this time and this time, guys, y'all need to do this. Or you yourself need to do this or that. Or on the flip side of having the structure, do you need less structure? Because often when we have structure and it's too rigid, that can create problems, especially if you're trying to control everything, then your attention is on that when it wasn't during the school year because your kids were in school. So ask yourself, is it too much structure? Do I need to say, okay, y'all, do what y'all want as long as you don't bother me? Just don't come bother me because I'm working right now. Go do whatever, as long as you ain't tearing nothing in. You know what I mean? But Mama, this episode, I just wanted to remind you, summer does not have to be stressful. You do not have to be overwhelmed during the summer. And I want you to have peace. And when you have that peace, that sets the tone for the family to have peace as well. I've talked about creating a safe space in your home where your kids can come home and feel like I am safe. I'm not stressed. I'm not overwhelmed. I don't need to be walking on pins and needles because Mama is frustrated. And your peace should be a non-negotiable. You are worth it. Your family is worth you having the inner peace that you deserve, that only God gives, because he gives the peace that no man can what? Give or take away. And I was listening to a business training, and y'all know I often apply business to personal because it applies. But my business coach said, peace is a decision. And I said, man, it really is. Like, we want peace. I ask moms, like, what is one thing that you want in your life? And they're like, peace. I just want peace. But it's a decision. And that means being intentional about doing things every day, step by step, no matter how little, to create your inner peace and to making sure that you are in touch with and in communication with God so he can give you that peace when you're like, I've tried, Lord. I don't know what to do. I'm still so overwhelmed and frustrated. I need you to come in my life. I need you to come in my heart and give me peace, peace that no man can take away and that no man can give, because often we're looking for it from outside sources or just from ourselves when it can only really and truly come from God. And just know, when you do that, your kids, your family get a more joyful and more happy mom, and you get a more happy woman, remembering that you're a woman first and you are God's daughter. And that's why God put it on my heart to do the Mary to Martha Summer Reset. And we start at the beginning of June. I'm going to help moms stop being over-functioning during their summer, trying to do it all, help you set healthy boundaries and create that peace that you really want in your life. And stop going from that mindset of, I just got to survive the summer, to I'm going to thrive. I'm going to have that joy that I really want and that I deserve and that my family deserves. So if you know that's you and you're tired of the overwhelm and stress, I will put the information for Martha to Mary down in the description below. So make sure you check it out and come and join us. I look forward to helping you, because the stress of summer, it can be a lot and it can cause you to really have an emotional breakdown. And we don't want that for ourselves, and we don't want our family seeing us going through that. And you don't have to. You can prevent it. A lot of us try to fix stuff after it happens, but you want to be proactive and do what you need to do for you too, because you set the tone for the home so it does not happen. So check it out in the show notes and come and join us. If you're already feeling overwhelmed and the summer's not even here yet, then this is for you, and I need to see you in the room. So mama, this has been your reminder that you do not have to carry the whole summer on your shoulders. God doesn't want that for you. I don't want that for you. And I don't think you want it for yourself either. Well, I hope this episode has blessed you. If you have not, share with a mama you love, leave a review, and subscribe as well. Until next time, take care. God bless. Thanks so much for joining me for the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I hope you feel inspired to make yourself a priority too. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Share this podcast with another mama you love and leave a review. Also, feel free to let me know what you would like to hear about in future episodes by visiting me on Instagram at CIC Inspire Me. Until next time, take some time to take care of YOU because you matter too.